On January 5, 2024, a door plug panel suddenly blew off an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 during a routine flight, sending a rush of wind and debris through the cabin and exposing passengers to a terrifying ordeal at 16,000 feet. The explosive decompression tore a gaping hole in the fuselage, forcing the pilots to make an emergency descent and land as quickly as possible. Passengers clung to their seats, oxygen masks dangling, as the crew worked to keep everyone calm. Miraculously, no one was seriously hurt, but the incident sent shockwaves through the aviation world and delivered a devastating blow to Boeing's reputation, already battered by years of controversy. The event immediately brought back memories of the two tragic 737 MAX 8 crashes in 2018 and 2019. Disasters that claimed 346 lives and led to the global grounding of the entire MAX fleet for nearly 2 years. Even after the MAX was cleared to fly again, Boeing's troubles didn't end. New safety scares kept emerging, like a Boeing 787 Dreamliner that suddenly plunged mid-flight, sending passengers and crew into panic. And then, a Boeing 777 lost a tire during takeoff, raising even more questions about the company's quality control, and fueling public fears of a deeper, systemic failure within Boeing's operations. In response, the FAA grounded 171 MAX 9s for urgent inspections, uncovering additional issues like loose bolts and incomplete paperwork, suggesting that the problems ran far deeper than a single incident. For regulators, this was the last straw. The FAA and other authorities signaled they had lost patience with Boeing, demanding sweeping changes and stricter oversight to restore public trust. The haunting image of the gaping hole in the Alaska jet quickly became a symbol of a company in crisis, splashed across headlines and social media worldwide. The incident ignited a national debate about the state of American manufacturing, with many questioning whether the relentless pursuit of profit and speed had come at the expense of safety and craftsmanship. Boeing, once the pride of U.S. technological innovation and a symbol of American excellence, now faced tough questions from lawmakers, industry experts, and the public. Had the company lost its way? Was the drive for efficiency undermining the very engineering standards that made Boeing great? The events of early 2024 forced regulators, airlines, and the flying public to confront a harsh new reality about one of America's most storied industrial giants. Trust, once lost, is hard to regain. Boeing's crisis was no longer just about airplanes or a single company. It was about the future of American industry itself, and whether it could still deliver on its promises of safety, quality, and innovation. After the Alaska Airlines incident, Boeing faced intense scrutiny from the FAA, NTSB, and Department of Justice. Investigations revealed widespread lapses in quality control and a culture where employees feared retaliation for raising safety concerns. Whistleblowers described pressure to cut corners, and the DOJ launched a criminal probe that could lead to prosecution if Boeing was found in breach of previous agreements. The crisis exposed not just technical failures, but a deep cultural breakdown at Boeing. As the crisis deepened, Boeing's leadership faced mounting pressure. In March 2024, CEO Dave Calhoun announced he would step down, joined by other top executives, signaling a major shakeup. New CEO Kelly Ortberg declared 2025 as Boeing's turnaround year, focusing on restoring quality control and rebuilding trust with regulators. Production was slowed, and engineers were empowered to speak up, but challenges persisted, including a 2-month worker strike. By mid-2025, Boeing showed signs of recovery, delivering 60 aircraft in June, its best in 18 months. Yet, the new leadership knew that another major incident could undo all progress. Boeing's survival now depended on proving its changes were real and lasting. Boeing is more than just a company. It's a pillar of the U.S. economy, shaping the lives of millions of Americans every day. Its influence stretches far beyond the boundaries of its factories, touching communities, families, and industries across the nation. As the nation's largest manufacturing exporter, Boeing helps drive American trade and supports the country's global economic standing. Its planes support 1.8 million American jobs, from engineers and assembly line workers to logistics experts and maintenance crews. This vast supply chain includes thousands of suppliers, ranging from major corporations to small, family-owned businesses in every state. When Boeing slows production, the ripple effects hit communities nationwide, threatening jobs, local economies, and the stability of entire regions that depend on aerospace. Boeing is also a key defense contractor, providing critical technology and equipment to the U.S. military. The company builds everything from advanced fighter jets to satellites that power communications and navigation systems, making its health vital to national security and the country's ability to respond to global threats. Boeing's commercial and defense roles reinforce each other, driving innovation, research, and high-tech job creation. This synergy helps maintain America's technological edge and ensures the nation remains a leader in aerospace advancements. Recent struggles have raised alarms. Industry experts, workers, and policymakers are all watching closely. A weakened Boeing threatens not just jobs and exports, but the entire ecosystem that supports American aerospace. It also puts U.S. leadership in aerospace at risk, opening the door for global competitors to catch up or surpass. The crisis is a wake-up call, reminding us that even the most dominant industrial players can face unexpected challenges. It highlights the fragility of the systems that underpin American manufacturing and innovation. Boeing's fate is deeply intertwined with America's economic and strategic future, making its recovery and resilience a matter of national importance. As Boeing struggled, China's COMAC emerged as a serious competitor with its C919 jet, designed to rival the 737 and Airbus A320. Backed by Beijing's Made in China 2025 strategy, the C919 entered commercial service in 2023 and quickly racked up over 1,000 mostly domestic orders. While still reliant on Western components, the C919's debut marked China's arrival as a credible aircraft manufacturer. COMAC's built-in domestic demand allows it to scale up production and refine its processes, giving it a strategic edge. As China's aviation market grows, COMAC threatens to erode Boeing and Airbus's market share, setting the stage for a new era of competition. The rise of COMAC signals a long-term challenge to the Western aerospace giants. Boeing's troubles were compounded by a US-China trade war that erupted in April 2025, sending shockwaves through the global aviation industry. The escalating tensions between the world's two largest economies created a climate of uncertainty, not just for Boeing, but for countless companies and workers whose livelihoods depend on international trade. The US imposed steep tariffs on a wide range of Chinese goods, aiming to pressure Beijing on trade practices. In response, China retaliated with its own tariffs, specifically targeting American aircraft. This move effectively halted Boeing deliveries to Chinese airlines, one of its most important markets, and left dozens of jets stranded in limbo. With over 130 jets on order for China, Boeing's cash flow was threatened at a critical time. The company faced mounting inventory and growing financial pressure as planes built for Chinese customers sat idle, unable to be delivered or paid for. The trade war's ripple effects created global uncertainty, with airlines like Ryanair and others reconsidering Boeing orders due to potential cost hikes and delivery delays. Airlines worldwide began to question the reliability of their supply chains, and some even explored switching to rival manufacturers to avoid being caught in the crossfire. By July, a fragile truce allowed some deliveries to resume, but the episode exposed Boeing's vulnerability to geopolitical risks. The company realized that its fortunes could shift overnight, depending on the state of international relations and government policy. China showed it could use its massive aviation market as leverage, making Boeing's access to China far from guaranteed. Negotiations became more complex, with political considerations now weighing as heavily as commercial ones. The trade conflict underscored the risks of global interdependence in aviation. As supply chains stretched across continents, a single political dispute could disrupt production, sales, and jobs around the world. For Boeing, political risk became as real and immediate as technical risk, forcing the company to rethink its global strategy and prepare for an era where business and politics are more intertwined than ever. China's challenge to Boeing is part of a larger push to dominate advanced industries. Massive state investment has fueled achievements in infrastructure, high-speed rail, electric vehicles, and now aerospace. The C919 is just one piece of a strategy to build a complete aerospace ecosystem and reduce reliance on Western technology. China's rapid industrial ascent contrasts sharply with America's recent manufacturing struggles. The comparison is sobering. While China opens record-breaking bridges and launches new jets, the US grapples with Boeing's failures. China's rise is about more than market share. It's about redefining global industrial leadership. Boeing's crisis and China's ascent mark a turning point for global aviation. The Boeing-Airbus duopoly now faces a new challenger, with COMAC backed by the Chinese state. The future will be shaped by fierce competition, geopolitics, and national industrial policies. Boeing's struggles highlight deeper issues in American manufacturing: short-term thinking, eroded safety culture, and weakened supply chains. Rebuilding U.S. leadership will require renewed investment in quality, innovation, and domestic production. Meanwhile, global supply chains remain deeply intertwined. Trade wars could ground both Boeing and COMAC. The turbulence at Boeing and the rise of COMAC signal a reordering of the industrial world. The next era of aviation will be defined by those who can adapt, innovate, and lead in a far more contested global landscape.